is such a gift of awareness when we understand how our feelings play into every choice that we make. This integration work is so impactful and so powerful when you're able to understand that we don't need a ceremony to get to that high frequency, right? We have access to that high frequency within us, right? This is our birthright. This is our sovereignty. This is what is gifted. This is the divine that lives in all of us, right? Be yourself or anyone that's listening, just by even looking at your day, you feel overwhelmed. Before you even start your day, you're going into it with this sense of, I'm going to be so tired. You know, the land here is extremely powerful. And there is limestone on the land. It actually reflects a lot of the energy. When the light hits the ocean, it reflects right away. And what that means is that it's a very powerful manifestation area and land to work with.
It's really beautiful, right? Here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also I'm in love with Playa del Carmen and Quintana Roo.
So Playa is one of those places that really, I've seen it kick people out, and I've seen it really bring people in that are ready to embrace the land and work with the land. And I think that's always very powerful. If you feel called to go to ceremony, I encourage you to go and experience it. But in the same breath, there is an integration that needs to happen. A lot of the time we're giving so much, but we don't have the awareness, right, to feel into what is it am I actually receiving in this space. So you have to be in overflow. Think about it like this. If you're in lack, right, you're only going to attract other people in lack. And so two people with empty cups are trying to fill from an empty cup. It's impossible. So if I know that I'm taking care of myself, we're drinking probiotics in the mornings and doing our meditation and breath work, cheers, being able to double down on our own health and our own body and our own energy and frequency so that we can then give even more. Like, hey, wait a minute. Hold on. My body is sending me messages. Right? Yeah. My body is literally an intelligence on its own, like, all readily available for us if we just sit and listen.
Yes. Yeah, we're a perfect biological machine. Yeah.
This beautiful symbiosis. Now, so I don't expect anyone to give me anything. I'm giving because I know that I'm the one that is in charge of providing for myself.
That's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the We Are Healing in Paradise podcast, where we are cultivating the new earth by reconnecting with our true nature and healing the planet from inside each of us. Welcome back to the We Are Healing in Paradise podcast. My name is Kate.
My name is Rosario.
And today we are with our beautiful friend, Christabelle. And we are so excited to have an incredibly powerful conversation about integration and the importance of assimilating all the healing that we are doing here in Playa. There's a lot of healing happening. And here in this podcast, we believe that healing naturally is possible when you connect with nature, when you connect with yourself, when you eat healthy food. And if that resonates with you, like this podcast right now and share this message with your friends, because we are going to be deep diving into some really powerful content today. And we're so excited that you're here with us on this journey.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so excited to have this conversation. I think it's such a valuable conversation, and so many people may not even really know about what is integration, right? So yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, we take people on like food journeys with our detoxes, and we talk about integration like back into day-to-day life after doing a deep detox, and that can apply to any sort of healing modality. I'd love to hear a little bit about your background and what brought you to Playa.
Like a lot of people that come to Playa, it's to get away from the cold, first and foremost, and also just the energy. You know, the land here is extremely powerful as it's on limestone. And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but when there is limestone on the land, it actually reflects a lot of the energy. When the light hits the ocean, it reflects right away. And what that means is that it's a very powerful manifestation area and land to work with. So you can be thinking of something or feeling something in the morning, and you will witness it in the mirror of everything around you. So it really gives you that ego check every second.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about the Playa synchronicities because they'll be thinking about something or planning something that it happens like later that day and they're like, what?
Totally. Yeah. So Playa is one of those places that really, I've seen it kick people out, and I've seen it really bring people in that are ready to actually, embrace the land and work with the land. And I think that's always very powerful.
It's really beautiful, right? Here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also I'm in love with Playa del Carmen and Quintana Roo. So what are you doing lately, with your work? You were talking about how the people are really unaware when they do plant medicines or another type of modality of healing. What is the thing that when they don't do correct the journey?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that everything is serving a purpose, right? And I've had my fair share of plant medicine ceremonies as well. And I've also, understood what may complement a ceremony. If you feel called to go to ceremony, I encourage that. I encourage you to go and experience it. But in the same breath, there is an integration that needs to happen, right? So when we go into something like a ceremony, we are getting to a frequency that is unrecognizable to our body, that our body has never even experienced before. And what that does is if it off balances everything else that is in a lower frequency that is just the way your life is. So when you go back to your everyday life, you're triggered every 2.5 seconds because everything is not where your high is. And so you get pulled back down to your lower frequency because you don't know how to face these triggers and actually integrate what it is actually showing you. And so I think that this integration work is so impactful and so powerful when you're able to understand that we don't need a ceremony to get to that high frequency, right? We have access to that high frequency within us. Yes. Right? This is our birthright. This is our sovereignty. This is what is gifted. This is the divine that lives in all of us, right? We don't need to take something outside of ourselves to be that infinite, that limitless energy, right? So I really wanted to emphasize that because I feel like so many people are just unaware, don't realize that we have access to that energy within ourselves.
Yeah, so often we're looking outside of ourselves for the solution or looking for, if I change this or I do this or I have this experience, then I will feel the way I want to feel or I'll have the breakthrough I want to have,
But instantly.
Yeah,
exactly. Next day.
Yeah, but it's a journey. And that's why this integration of whatever you're doing to heal is so important because it's not going to happen overnight. We're sold a lie in our culture. Like if I take the pill, if I do this big dramatic thing, or in movies, it'll be the montage, but the montage is over 6 months, but it's one song in the movie. So we have this idea, I just need to get really motivated and then my whole life will change. And it's well, actually totally. This is a journey and it's step by step, day by day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. That temporary pleasure, right? That quick adrenaline or that quick rush, it becomes that addiction, right? We get really addicted to those quick wins, and it's like anything. It's like going to the gym, right? It doesn't happen overnight. When you're working out your muscles and you want to look a certain way, right? It takes time. And people that are really fit, they Kate.
Working out is their hobby.
It becomes a lifestyle, right? And it becomes, this part of this self-love and this self-care and this worthiness to feel that good, right? And that is, I think, also when it comes to this level of integration, I think this self-worth, I don't know, it's just coming through right now, but I think this level of self-worth is where people, are struggling with the most right now in the collective, is this story that I am not worthy of feeling this as a baseline.
I want to ask you, what do you think about these emotions, guilt and shame? Because it's another thing that I feel like it could be part of the equation.
100%. And we've kind of been told our entire lives that when we put ourselves first or when we look after ourselves, it's, there's a tied to guilt, right? We shouldn't do that because, who's going to take care of this other person or whatever it is, right? We always feel like almost guilty to put ourselves first, right? That's never just been like a norm, but we all hear this, even in the airplanes, right? You have to put your mask on first before you help anyone else. You have to be in overflow. Think about it like this. If you're in lack, right, you're only going to attract other people in lack. And so two people with empty cups are trying to fill from an empty cup. It's impossible. Right? So if I know that I'm taking care of myself, right? If we're drinking probiotics in the mornings and doing our meditation and breath work, cheers. Right? Like, I think it's it's us being able to double down on our own health and our own body and our own energy and frequency so that we can then give even more, right? There's something my coach always says, one of my mentors, he always says, we receive to give. Always, right? The more we receive is in order to contribute even more. It's all tied to prosperity.
Yeah. You give me chills like waves.
Yeah, and I feel so many people here in Playa were talking about like birthing the new earth. And for me, I feel like this is really tied to this topic. When we as a human collective can let go of guilt and shame, then we can create something new because we're operating from this place of lack and this place of like guilt and shame and like I have to do this and obligation instead of like my cup is full to overflowing so I can give even more, because that's going to like break just all the constructs of everything that's holding us hostage. Totally. When we can really embrace, like, I could be free of guilt and shame.
Yeah, it's like the same, like a good movie. To make a good movie, sometimes it's years. It could be like 5, even some movies 10 years to make it. And then we see the movie in 3 hours. It's like, wow, they did it so well, like in 1 month. No. So it's like the background is really important because it's like for me, it will be the 95% or even the 99% all the actions, because the thought is going to make you move, the intention. But the intention is only the idea. Exactly. Yeah, to put everything on action, on movement. This is it.
100%. You're absolutely right. That alignment, right, of our what we feel, right? And I want to really bring this conversation into feeling, because I think it's so important that instead of just thinking about with an intention, okay, I want to look this way, right? I want to be fit, right? But what is the actual feeling, right? Because that feeling is if I'm in the frequency of health. So imagine you're looking at a menu, right? And when you are in the frequency of health and you look at that menu, you almost will be able to narrow down what is aligned to your frequency of health. But if you don't take that time to do that, and you're maybe in, a shittier mood or whatever it is, right? And you're looking at a menu, you're going to be aligning to the frequency with the food that is aligned to where you are in what you're feeling, right? So it is such a gift of awareness when we understand how our feelings play into every choice that we make, right? So it's not just about, I'm like, I want to go to the gym and I want to eat this and I want to do this and blah, blah, blah. But it actually is all about, I actually want to feel this way. And just by feeling this first, right? I don't need to think about what I'm going to eat. It'll just align to how I'm feeling, right? And I think that is the biggest thing. And I also want to relay this too, as well as women, right? When we are PMSing or whatever it is and on our periods, right? We don't take that time to actually get ourselves into that higher frequency. And so a lot of the time, right, as women, we tend to just eat whatever because we're like, oh, well, because I'm going to use this as an excuse to eat whatever.
Yeah, because our body, when we're PMSing, is really hormonally, we need more carbs. It's true. And then what we'll do is we'll go into negative carb, like junk food carbs, well, ice cream, potato
Bad
chips,
chocolate.
bad chocolate. Exactly. Instead, honoring yourself, being like, okay, I need more calories during this time of the month. And knowing that, we've been programmed to like hate our period and complain about PMSing instead of being like, wow, my body's doing this really powerful, magical thing. So it can prepare to create life. It's like this, I'm be able to create life here. And I need to support my hormones and support my womb in being ready for the next phase. And I'm really excited because I'm creating a cookbook for women to eat for their cycle and to know what to eat throughout the month so they can have those feelings but not have it go into the low vibration. Keep their vibration high and say like, yes, maybe I am feeling a little bit more tired and hungry today, but that's not a bad thing. Actually, I can support my body in this moment by making healthy choices that actually feed those cravings that I'm having.
Totally.
Because we have those cravings. We all know the cravings.
We all know the cravings. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I think that is so beautiful. First of all, of creating that book. That's amazing. I want to purchase that.
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, that is so awesome. And I feel like, so many women, again, we just don't know. We've just been told this story our entire lives. When you're PMSing, you are going to act like this. You're going to behave like this. You're going to be angry. You're going to be sad. Your emotions are going to be all over the place. You're going to be chaotic and messy and whatever. And we take that to the extreme, and we really use that almost as a crutch to behave or be a certain way instead of bringing back that power. Yeah. Right, to ourselves and being able to actually, emotionally regulate what is actually happening through that. I always say that, that period right before your period,
yeah,
is just such a energetically beautiful time to connect back with your own body, with your own self. And so many of us run away from that or avoid that, right?
Yes.
And that level of not being able to confront those emotions, right? Whatever has been, under the radar for, that luteal phase or whatever it is, and suddenly right before your period it comes up, that is being asked for you to confront and face with courage and curiosity and love and compassion. It doesn't have to be this like, what is going on? Oh my God, I can't believe I feel like this again. It's like, hey, wait a minute. Hold on. My body is sending me messages. Right? Yeah. My body is literally an intelligence on its own. Like we are AI, like this is the body of intelligence that is all readily available for us if we just sit and listen.
Yes.
Yeah, we're a perfect machine, a biological machine. Yeah.
Yeah. And during that time, it's true. Like hormonally, we're actually more connected with our analytical mind and our true emotions at the same time. So we're actually able to articulate more clearly what we actually want. And people say it's like, oh, she's being bad mood or bitchy, but you're actually just realizing like, actually some of these things in my life, I'm not okay with this. Yeah. And you're voicing it, and we've been judged and we've been suppressed and told not to speak our truth. And so it's come out as this negative thing, but it's actually like one of the most powerful times as a woman to really, like you said, connect.
What do you think about people or women that they work every day, like their routine? Me, Rosario, I work like this. Usually it's like, I feel like a military. I wake up every day, 6 days of the week, and then I go to my house late. Like I work my 10 hours. So for me, it's difficult sometimes to access, to have this time. And I feel like a lot of women feel related with me. Because we want to, and we're aware in a way, but we don't know what to do, like in many things to help us. Like what practice you suggest we can add to our routine, like it be many things.
Yeah, totally. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I do resonate with that. I feel like a lot of women, are in this wanting to do so many things, right? Have dreams maybe that correlate with that. Or just, have so many things that are happening all the time and feeling like we have to do all of these things, right? And that alone, I'm sure, maybe yourself or anyone that's listening, just by even looking at your day, you feel overwhelmed, right? So before you even start your day, you're going into it with this sense of, I'm going to be so tired, right? So that, again, we're going back to frequency, right? Like I've gone through the paradigm where I was in my soft feminine era, where I was, really in tune with the cycle and everything. And I love that. I love being in that. And in the same breath, I can also now understand that my frequency actually can ride anything. My frequency, I can actually alchemize wherever I am to complete whatever I need to do. So frequency first. So if I'm going into my day, whatever actions, whatever things that I need to do, right, I am checking in with my own frequency first before I go into that, making sure that I'm at an energetic, that I have the capacity to hold for what it is that I'm going to do. And if I can actually recycle that energy, because energy cannot be created or destroyed, it's always repurposed, right? So we have to utilize that energy and allow ourselves to receive from everything that we are also giving, right? Because you can't give without receiving. And so now you are continuously in this love with life, right? Like in this literal relationship with life. And that is how you just stay energized, right? So it's not about when you feel that level of burnt out, it's because you're not receiving. Right? When you feel burnt out, it is because you are not receiving.
Or I don't let myself to receive.
Exactly.
I don't want to receive.
You don't want
but
to.
I'm not aware.
You're not aware, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the time we're giving so much, but we don't have the awareness, right, to feel into what is it am I actually receiving in this space. So I'll give you an example. Okay? So I always kind of ask this before I go into, a session or anything like that with my clients, whatever it is. What do I want to give first? Okay. So in this space, maybe I want to give my presence, right? I want to give authenticity. Okay. So what do I have to give myself in order to give this? So if I'm giving presence, I want to give myself breath, right? So now I get to receive breath. And as I receive breath, I get to give presence. So do you notice how that cycle now is there by giving my awareness to this beautiful symbiosis now? So I don't expect anyone to give me anything. I'm giving because I know that I'm the one that is in charge of providing for myself.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I would
It's really inspired.
Yeah, super inspiring. I would love for you to share a little bit about your integration home experience, retreat. I don't know what you're calling it.
Integration homes. Yeah. So thank you so much. Yeah. I had this idea last year, I guess, and I didn't even really launch it. It just sort of happened, and it was, fully booked. And the whole intention around it was to bring women into their wholeness. Right. And so what usually happens in Playa or Tulum in this area is there's a lot of ceremonies that happen. And a lot of people don't have the integration tools, obviously, after. And so I decided to launch this integration home. So it can be for anyone that is going through a ceremony or is going through even a breakup or, a death or something in their life that has created a soul fragmentation, which means that your soul is being disintegrated. You have lost the connection back to yourself and you are grieving or you're going through something where you have forgotten. You have forgotten, who you are. And so coming into this space, it's a 5-day container where, you have your own room, you have your own bathroom, and it's with 2 other women that are there, including myself. And we just hold space. We hold space for you. We teach you different techniques, heart coherence, that the giving to receive, all of these different tips, and we put them into practice. It becomes this really fun place where, we get to explore Playa, we get to play, we get to go to the beach, into the ocean, swim, whatever it is, feel refreshed. And so that becomes, a part of this integration where we get to bring it into your everyday life, right? We get to have those working sessions together, and you have access, through those 24 hours where, you get to talk about your dreams, you get to talk about, whatever comes up throughout the day, right? As you're going through this process. And so that is so beneficial for so many of us that are going through life, right? As things happen, as things come up, and we are put in situations where we're having a hard time coming back to, who we are, what we already know, but we forget.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So tell our viewers how they can connect with you and how they can find you.
Yeah, so you guys can find me on Instagram, Christabelle.Joseph, and that is probably the main way of contact for me, honestly, is just through Instagram. So very easy, very simple. I'm sure there'll be a link or something.
Yeah, we'll put everything in the link below. So we want to invite everyone who's listening, everyone who's watching, to come here to Playa. Obviously, there's so many inspiring, incredible people here to support you on your healing journey, whatever that looks like. And we're just so grateful that you came on this podcast. This has been so inspiring. Thank you for bringing your light.
It touched me a lot and gave me a lot of goosebumps.
Beautiful. Thank you guys so much. This was so fun. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
If you guys are listening to this podcast, please share it with your friends, because we want people to know that healing, deep, true, integrated healing is possible naturally. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you never miss an episode, and leave us a comment. If you have questions for Christabelle about integration, if you have questions for us or suggestions for a future episode, please leave a comment. Let us know. We're excited to welcome you here in Playa, and we'll see you next week.
Adios.